And saw the World Hot Rod Championship like Lorraine did the other. You didn't see it, did you? You saw a wonderful race with George Polly coming from behind and finally having to settle for second place. Well, here in the Sonny Howard Challenge, we've got many of the leading contenders competing once again, although I'm sorry to say that Barry Lee, who also played the leading part at Ipswich, has changed his driver's seat for one in the commentary box.
And a man you can never discount in any event, of course, is 306, former world champion George Polly. An immaculate car, a very experienced driver, finished up second in the World Championship just a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to be in there really trying very hard. And we go straight into the Sonny Howard Challenge Cup. 30 laps for these powerful hot rods. Into this bottom bend for the first time. The yellow-grey driver leads. That's car number 204 in the lead. Steve Dudman made the journey all the way up from Chichester down on the south coast. 270 is in second place. Albert White from down the road at Grantham. 170 is chasing him. Dave Thompson from Scunthorpe. And behind him comes 317. Bob Ludlam from Woking, right on form, and somebody who is really going to be in there very, very quickly indeed. I think we'll see the 317 car start to move up in a moment or two. So 204 is the leader, 270 is second, 170 is third, then 317, 694 and 599. That's the order, and on that picture there, the fourth car is 317 Bob Ludlam, the leader at the top right. That's the amount of distance Bob's got to make up to hit the front. Here's Bob's smart-looking car, look at it, beautiful. Nice and low to the ground, handles well, and he knows how to drive it. Well, an example really of one of the very smart hot rods we're seeing these days, Barry Lee.
It's nice to see the hot rods. 90% of them now are very, very smart cars. It's a shame that the stewards in the box that put out the blue flag rules and things like this don't consider the amount of money that these cars now cost. Because when Bob's coming up behind the 170 car there, he's not challenging it too hard at the moment, but as soon as he does start nipping around the outside, because this is a non-contact form of sport, as you all know, the blue flag should be waved to make it quite easy for the 317 car there of Bob to be able to go by. But the people do not, the stewards do not use the blue flag when you're in first, second, third, fourth positions.
So it's up to Bob. He's got to find the gaps, make his own chances. Here on his own is this car here, 204, Steve Dudman. He's still got himself here about 40 yards over ahead of the others. 306 further back, George Polly is beginning to move up. Let's see, in fact, how far back down the field George is. Yes, he's somewhere about 8th or 9th place in the middle of all that traffic. He's got a lot to do.
Can you see how George's car is bouncing up and down? Look, much more than anybody else's cars. That's a sister car of George's in front, Neil Facey's car, but George is up and down, bouncing like a little go-kart you race, because George prefers to run on this particular circuit with his car virtually solid. It's very skittish. The problem is when you do lose tyre adhesion, you can actually flick into the fence, but there is a man there that's got more experience than anybody put together, George Polly.
So the lead car is still Steve Dudman in 204, all on his own side. Further back in second place, we've got car number 270, Albert White, still going well there with 170 right on his tail, Dave Thompson, 317 Bob Ludlam in behind. Right behind him comes car 471 of Steve Skidmore, and right behind him comes number 8, Paul Grimer from Sleaford, and George Polly in trouble.
Yes, George has pulled out. He's got a problem with his car. I believe it might be a suspension failure. I'm not too sure. I can't see any smoke or anything else. So that is George out of this particular event.
Let's go back to the front. 204 is still the leader, and he's even further clear now because that whole group got held up. A long gap, then we go to 471 and 8 together. 471 and 8. Paul Grimer challenging on the outside. There he is, looking for the gap on the outside, trying to move into second place with 471 Steve Skidmore hanging on. So Steve Skidmore in 471 and Paul Grimer in 8. And here's Grimer having a go now down the outside.
Skidmore is like a mobile chicane. He is diabolical to try and overtake. You'll see him now. He'll go right on the outside of the track. He'll stop Grimer going around the outside. He'll dive back on the inside. Now Grimer's on the inside of the circuit now. He'll pull out now. He'll try and go up the outside. Here he goes. Skidmore will pull over, block him again, then come on the inside. That man should be blue flagged because Grimer has moved up 6 places to get behind him. It's proved that he's quicker, but he'll in no way get past Skidmore. This is what's killing hot rod racing.
Barry should know. He's been in that hot seat many times and had these drivers doing this in front of him. Another chance there. Look how wide the 471 car indeed went there. But no signs as yet of a blue flag for him. Let's look at the lap sheets because we're coming towards the end of this. There's 27 laps gone, 3 more to go. And at the moment, it's still 2:04. Steve Dudman from Chichester, who is a long, long way clear. This yellow top driver's got an early lead, and he's really hung on to it, and the others just cannot catch him. Second and third, 4.71, really going well. Smoke coming out of the lead car. I've just spotted on 2:04, in fact, some smoke coming out as he goes at the end of the straights.
Smoke means oil, oil means slippery conditions with the two cars charging up behind Nigel.
Okay, but he doesn't have to worry. He's only got to come off this bend, back to the leader. There's the leader coming for the flag. Over the line now comes the second and third place men, and it's going to be that order. Paul Grimer was unsuccessful in getting by as they crossed the line there. 4.71. Steve Skidmore hangs on to his second place. Now he moves over, and now Paul Grimer goes by in number 8, but it's all too late, I'm afraid. So the National Hot Rod Sonny Howard Challenge Cup goes to 2:04 Steve Dudman, with 4.71 Steve Skidmore in second place, and in third place, number 8, Paul Grimer.
The contest between Barry Lee of Chelmsford and Steve Skidmore of Attleborough was continued to 3 rounds in the bar afterwards.